Hi guys, Gabby here, owner and clinical director of Recovered and Restored Eating Disorder Therapy Center. I wanted to jump on today and say hi. I also wanted to talk with you guys about social media. There is a lot going on right now in the world, and I think some of us are in overdrive when it comes to media consumption and social media. This is not me saying don't be informed. I think being informed is important. This is me saying, let's talk about how we can be informed in a way that is healthy and aligned with our recovery. And also, I will talk a little bit about eating disorder specific suggestions for social media and recovery. So, if we're speaking generally right now, what I would encourage you to do is take an inventory, and this also applies if you're in recovery, to how frequently you are using social media. Now, again, we do not think social media is bad. Some of my best friends I meet on social media, some of the recovery content that I consume and consumed in early stages of recovery got me through. So again, we are not anti-social media. We have two different accounts, at Gabrielle LPC and at Recovered and Restored. But what we do want you to do is let's use social media in a way that is healthy, values aligned, and can help you in recovery. So whether we are speaking generally right now, or if we are talking about eating disorder recovery, use of social media, we want to take an inventory. How frequently are you using social media? Are you using it once a day? Are you using it once a week? Are you using it 10 times a day? When I recently did this inventory, I realized that I use social media 6 to 8 times a day. That is a lot. That's a lot. Sometimes I'm just quick jumping on to look at something. Sometimes I'm answering maybe a message if someone is kind enough to send me a message. And then sometimes I am just mindlessly scrolling. Don't get me wrong, scrolling is not always bad. It is the doom scrolling, which we'll talk about, that can be really challenging. And also in recovery, it is challenging when we're scrolling and we have accounts that are not values aligned and that are not recovery aligned. Okay, so first we take an inventory. Then what I would encourage clients to do is ask themselves, how does this content make me feel? Now, why is this important? This is important because we know that social media does have an impact on eating disorder recovery. First of all, there are filters. Filters and Photoshop create unrealistic standards and false ideas of what bodies should look like. First of all bodies are good. Health and weight and wellness, they do not have a size, they do not have a look. Also, eating disorders do not have a size or a look. Please remember that. Also, a lot of times on social media, there are a lot of non-credentialed, it's okay, individuals, no shame, but they're giving advice that they really don't have the place to be giving. For example, what I eat in a day videos are not helpful because all bodies need different things, different days, right? There might be a day where you wake up and you're feeling really hungry. You should listen to your body. And there might be a day where maybe you're craving certain types of foods. You should listen to your body. Don't watch what someone else is eating. I know sometimes they can be entertaining, I guess, but they're not helpful and they're not going to encourage you in recovery. If you are someone watching this and you're not in recovery, I would still tell you these videos are not helpful. There's a lot of messaging that leads to comparison. Well, if so-and-so looks like this, I can look like this too. That's actually not true. Most of what we look like has to do with our genetics, not someone's fitness routine. There is also a lot of really challenging messaging when it comes to recovery and eating disorders. There is, again, a ton of recovery content that I would really, really encourage you to follow. But there also is a lot of content that would promote eating disorders, and that is just so incredibly dangerous. Nothing is worth your recovery. Nothing is worth your well-being if you can try to challenge this content or get rid of this content. And again, social media in general, unintentionally, I think a lot of times just creates unrealistic standards. Also, more for the general public, social media has a lot of information and sometimes a lot of really graphic information. Take care of yourself. We are not meant to constantly consume news and to constantly consume information. Again, being informed is important, but what does it look like for you to be informed while maintaining your well-being? And it's kind of the same thing in recovery. What does it look like for you to be connected to social media, but still maintain recovery? So again, first we're going to take an inventory. Then what we would encourage clients to do is tap into how you feel when you are looking at content. Does this content make me feel good, happy, joyful, stressed, annoyed, bothered? If it's the first part, if you're feeling good, great, this is good content for you. If you're feeling annoyed, stressed, bothered, angry, this is probably not content that you want to or need to be following, right? Social media can be powerful. It can be fun. It can be positive. We need to make sure that the content we're consuming is building us up, not tearing us down, is recovery aligned, and also makes us feel good. Not our eating disorder feel good, but makes us feel good. Also, ask yourself, is my feed a bunch of people who look like me? Or is it diverse? Is it also a bunch of people who think how I think? Or is it diverse? Diversity is important. Diversity is healing. Diversity helps us come outside of ourselves. Also, when it comes to body diversity, it tells our brain the same messaging that I'm saying to you today, that all bodies are good. The more we look at different bodies, the more we're able to challenge society's concept of thinness and that the thin body is the ideal body, because that is total bullshit. All bodies have a place. All bodies are worthy. And the more we can look at different bodies on social media, whether you're in recovery or not, the more our brain will be able to accept all different types of body and will embrace all different types of bodies, which can be really healing and powerful in recovery. Lastly, ask yourself, where am I willing to change my habits? You may be watching this video and you're like, I'm not changing a thing. That's fine. Okay. But ask yourself, is my social media usage serving me and is it serving in my recovery? And if the answer is no, and you don't want to change, it's okay. But know that the ability to change can happen at any point in any day. So don't rule it out. If you're listening to this and you're like, okay, I did the inventory, I evaluated my content, I've diversified my feed, and I'm willing to cut back from 2 hours a day to 1 hour and 20 minutes a day. That's awesome. Any change that you're willing to try is brave. Any change that you're willing to make is powerful. Also, sometimes ask yourself, what are the barriers? Why am I feeling so pulled to continue to use social media? What is stopping me from allowing me to develop a healthy relationship with social media? Is it peer pressure? Is it the want to be in the know? Are there other ways to get this information? Is it that I just feel really connected when I'm online? Okay, if that's it, maybe we need to develop some connections outside of online. Whatever it is that's holding you back, it's okay. Just ask yourself what it is and see if you can challenge it. But if you are willing to change and you're willing to cut back, give it a try. Also remember, nothing is permanent. If you cut back 20 minutes and you're like, whoa, I really feel like I missed out on XYZ, put it back. It's okay. But I think it's worth giving a try, even if you just cut it down by 5 minutes a day. This is just suggestions. These are just things I would talk about with my clients and things I personally am working on myself. Again, please don't get me wrong. I think social media can be a really powerful, positive place, but we need to develop boundaries and set ourselves up for success with the content we're consuming. If you want to learn more about this, if you want to talk more about this, or if you're struggling with anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to me and my team at recoveredandrestoredtherapy.com or me personally at Gabby@recoveredandrestoredtherapy.com, or go on our social media. Like I said, we have at Gabrielle LPC. You'll directly be connected with me, or at Recovered and Restored. A couple of us pop on that account. Any of us would love to chat with you. Also, if we're not for you, it's okay. We are connected to other providers. We would love to get you connected with them if that makes more sense. Also, remember, this is not therapy. This is not a supplement for therapy. This is just another tip or another way to help you feel seen, valued, heard, and loved today, and I hope informed. If you guys need anything, don't hesitate to reach out, and I hope you can challenge and even just reevaluate your social media usage. Bye, guys.